Heads up, gamers, it's Luna time! Some of these games will make you feel uncomfortable in a way even horror movies can't. Others go deep into psychological trauma with truly heavy stuff. So come with me because this ride is about to get intense. This one starts strange and ends even stranger. Exactly how a psychological horror game should be. You play as Medan, a medium haunted by visions from the beyond, until she's called to investigate an abandoned resort full of dark secrets. From there, the game switches between the real world and the spirit world. And sometimes both happen at the same time, right on your screen. It's made by Bloober Team, the same devs behind Silent Hill 2 Remake. They know what they are doing. Think you've seen it all when it comes to haunted house games? Visage will prove you wrong. You explore a mansion where several brutally tragic deaths happened. And the scariest part? The game doesn't just tell you anything. You discover pieces slowly, newspaper clippings, voices from radios, photos, one bit at a time. Each chapter focuses on a different character, and that completely changes the type of horror you face. And the worst part? You can't fight back. Now this one's got a different vibe, more cinematic, all about choices and consequences, just like a good horror movie. In Man of Medan, you control 5 characters who go diving near a sunken World War II plane, but end up trapped on a ghost ship with way too many secrets. The whole game is based on your choices, and any mistake can lead to someone's permanent death. It mixes psychological horror with ghost stories, military conspiracies, and even a twist that completely redefines what you've seen. And I love the fact that every decision actually matters. Kuon is a survival horror from Software. You heard it right, the same studio behind Dark Souls and Elden Ring. Released back in 2004 for the PS2, this is one of the most obscure horror games ever made. The story takes place in feudal Japan, inside a cursed mansion where a ritual went very wrong. You play as 2 different characters in separate campaigns that eventually cross paths. Combat is stiff, the pacing is slow, and the game feels outdated. But that's exactly what makes it so unsettling. I still remember the first time I played this game on my PS2. I had no idea what I was getting into. All I knew was what a friend told me. Freaking scary. A lot of people rolled their eyes when this was announced, thinking it'd just be another movie tie-in game. But Blair Witch actually surprises. You play as Ellis, a former cop with a traumatic past who heads into the Black Hills forest to search for a missing child. Yes, the same forest from the original film. But slowly, the forest begins to twist everything. Time feels broken. Memories mix with hallucinations, and what starts as a rescue mission becomes a full-blown descent into Ellis's shattered mind. The horror here is psychological and visual. It builds slowly through tension, silence, and the feeling that something's watching you. Siren has always been an underground franchise, but Blood Curse, released on PS3, takes things to the next level. You're in a remote Japanese village, where yet another twisted ritual has gone horribly wrong. Now the villagers have turned into Shibito, basically conscious zombies cursed to suffer forever. What really sets this game apart is the way you play. You control multiple characters across different episodes, like an interactive horror series. You can even see through the eyes of the monsters hunting you. It creates a constant, almost unbearable tension. If you're into urban horror with a gritty, realistic vibe, Condemned is essential. You play as Ethan Thomas, an investigator tracking a serial killer, but things go way deeper than a regular case. What starts as a crime, thriller spirals into pure nightmare territory. The environments are suffocating, abandoned buildings, decaying subways, pitch-black corridors. Combat is brutal, melee-focused, raw, and desperate. Enemies scream, growl, and charge at you mindlessly. And it's not just the violence, the psychological horror is excellent. You start to question the sanity of the main character. and your own. If you're into horror with that eerie Asian cinema vibe, Dreadout 2 is an underrated gem. Inspired by Indonesian urban legends, this game blends supernatural horror with a modern urban setting. You play as Linda, a young girl who can see and interact with the spirit world using her smartphone. The game features exorcism mechanics, melee combat, open-world exploration, and a heavy atmosphere. Abandoned schools, empty streets, disturbing ghosts, all wrapped in a chilling soundtrack. If you miss classic survival horror, but want it with modern graphics and fresh ideas, The Evil Within is exactly what you need. Created by Shinji Mikami, the father of Resident Evil, this game is basically an interactive nightmare. You play as Detective Sebastian Castellanos, thrown into a world full of grotesque monsters, sadistic traps, and environments that feel ripped from a 2000s horror movie. You always feel hunted. Gameplay mixes stealth and action, but never lets you feel safe. What really stands out is how the horror blends with the character's psyche. Sometimes you're not sure if you're in the real world, a memory, or a full-blown delusion. Rule of Rose, released for the PS2, was banned in several countries due to false rumors about its story. You play as Jennifer, a girl who wakes up in an abandoned orphanage, now ruled by a group of cruel, mysterious children led by a queen. They invent bizarre rules and twisted games, and something clearly isn't right. As the story unfolds, you slowly piece together Jennifer's trauma, bullying, abandonment, loss. Combat is honestly bad, but people don't play Rule of Rose for the gameplay. It's the atmosphere, the narrative, and the haunting mystery that grip you. Pure fear. That's what Alien Isolation delivers. It captures that feeling of being hunted by something you simply can't beat. You play as Amanda Ripley, daughter of Ellen Ripley, trying to uncover what happened to her mother. But instead, you end up trapped on a space station with a xenomorph on the loose. And here's the twist. The alien isn't scripted. It learns from you. It adapts. And it hunts. Every encounter feels unpredictable and every sound makes your heart race. This isn't just the best Alien game, it's one of the most respected survival horrors ever made. Fatal Frame is spiritual and emotional horror, the kind that lingers in your soul. In Tormented, you play as 3 different characters, all tied to a bizarre curse in a village and a mansion that only appears in their nightmares. But here's the thing, the more you dream, the more you die inside. The combat? It's with a camera, literally. You face ghosts using a sacred camera which forces you to look your threat right in the eyes. In many situations, there's no running away. The game makes you face terror head-on. The vibe is heavy, melancholic, full of loss, regret, and guilt. If you're into psychological horror with that heavy atmosphere of possession and ritual, Madison is for you. You play as a young man trapped in a house full of dark secrets, haunted by a terrifying entity named Madison, a former serial killer who used a film camera to perform horrific rituals. The game's got a suffocating atmosphere, smart puzzles, and some of the most intense jump scares you'll ever experience. But what really makes Madison stand out is its tone. It feels like a slow, painful descent into madness, one of the strongest indie horror titles in recent years. After the all-out action of Resident Evil 6, no one expected Capcom to bring the series back to pure horror. But Resident Evil 7 shocked everyone. You play as Ethan Winters, an ordinary guy searching for his missing wife, and that search leads him to a rundown plantation owned by the Baker family. From beginning to end, the tension never lets go. There are no superheroes and definitely no cool one-liners with a shotgun in hand, just fear, raw, unfiltered fear. This game didn't just bring horror back, it's one of the most important and disturbing chapters in the series. If the first Outlast already felt like a heart attack, then Outlast 2 will push your sanity to the limit. This time, you're Blake, a cameraman investigating the disappearance of a girl in a rural, isolated area. The problem? That area is run by a fanatical religious cult, and they're absolutely insane. Gone are the claustrophobic hallways of the asylum. Now it's forests, cornfields, and desolate villages. But that feeling of being hunted? Still there. You've got no weapons, no way to fight, just a camera with night vision and a dying battery. So tell me, my dear lunatics, which one of these horror games did you have the guts to play? Or better yet, which one made you quit just to catch your breath? If you're into horror that's raw, weird, and full of hidden gems nobody talks about, then make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave that like